Good evening, Truth Seekers. How are we? We're back for episode 3. I do apologise. We had to miss a week, but we're back now. So, good evening, everyone. And tonight is about, are they or aren't they? So this is the show where we ask the questions, you, the audience, the ones people don't want to ask. We step into those mysteries and we continue to captivate the world. Tonight, we enter a subject that has fascinated humanity for generations because some deaths are accepted, some bring closure, but others leave questions. Questions that survive for years, even decades after a person is gone. Tonight, we ask, are some stories, are they truly finished? Or do unanswered details keep them alive forever? Throughout history, there have been famous deaths that have left people asking, was the truth fully told? Were the important details missed? Did secrecy cause confusion? Or does simply the mystery grow in the spaces we certainly cannot exist? Tonight, we are not here to tell you what to believe. We are here to claim, not to claim fantasy, should I say. We are here to explore why some stories continue to haunt the world long after the headlines. We'll look at cases, timelines, witness accounts, official narratives, mysteries outlined. But perhaps the biggest question of all is, why do some people struggle to let certain stories go? Is it because something doesn't add up? Or because human nature searches for meaning in the unknown? Or is it because of history has shown us one thing? When answers feel incomplete, mysteries step in. And once mysteries take hold, people ask questions. Questions become theories. Theories become beliefs. And sometimes belief becomes stronger than fact itself. So tonight, open your mind, question everything, because your thoughts, your theories, and your questions, we're going to answer as best we can. So tonight on Ask Spirit, is it fact? Is it fiction? And the death mysteries that still haunt the world. Let us open it up to everyone. How are we, guys? It's so nice to see you back. I was a bit longer from the last episode, but had to rearrange things. So I am really glad to be back. So tonight I wanted to open it up because hiya, how are we doing? I'm going to call you Ringo. I'll call you Ringo. Hi, Ringo. How are you doing? So tonight I wanted to open it up because I know when I was doing the podcast Prophetic News, I used to get little bits about people who were meant to have passed over, but Spirit were saying they hadn't. So that was really interesting. And we touched on a few, and anybody who knows me knows that I will completely trust. I will trust, even if I don't understand it, I will completely trust Spirit and what they're bringing forward. Because sometimes we're not always meant to understand it. Sometimes we're just not ready for the answers. So that's what I want to know. What is your question? What mysteries of passing do you have? What questions do you have for Spirit? That would be interesting. So we can open it up and you can ask away. For me, the ones that Spirit touched on openly and came forward with in the past was Saddam Hussein, Michael Jackson, Madeleine McCann, They also told me that a lot of the children that were missing were going to start coming back. So for me, a lot of people, and Elvis Presley is another person, and there's so many. The man from the Doors, I can't remember his name, but the gentleman from the Doors, he went to France. He wanted to just drift into the background. He wanted to write his poetry, and a lot of people believed he didn't pass when he did. A lot of people believe he passed later in life. So there's a lot of mystery. Hi, Jennifer. There's a lot of mystery surrounding many deaths, many deaths. Are we conspiracists, or are we looking at sometimes things are very obvious, and sometimes things are not so obvious, and sometimes things are just right there in front of our face and we can't see it. And Spirit always say, I always repeat it, you have to excuse the background noise. I can't shut my window tight. I can't reach it. So Spirit always say, thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you. Spirit always say that everything is right in front of our eyes. Everything is here, right? There's no secrets. There is no mysteries. It's how we perceive everything. And that's really interesting, because I know I was told Michael Jackson was not passed. I was told he was not passed. I didn't ask the question. I was just told. And I was told Madeleine McCann was in Mexico. Mexico was included was linked to Madeleine McCann. The gated community in America was also connected to the Mexico. So they were bringing in quite a few different people. Joe Biden was so obviously not who he was. We wondered about Hillary Clinton. I'm going to stick you up there. Okay. Right, Ringo, let's go. He wonders about Hillary Clinton and Obama, dead, executed. Oh. Spirit, can we ask, can you give information on Joe Biden? Ringo wants to know, was Joe Biden himself near the... No, he had long gone. I didn't get to finish asking that question. Spirit said, no, he had long gone. The parade must continue. The show must go on. Can I ask you anything else, please, about Hillary Clinton and oh, okay. I didn't even get to finish that. The HC is not, she's not a good person, really not a good person. What can you tell me about, what can you share with us, please? So Joe Biden, Spirit said, Joe Biden was only ever a puppet. But those strings broke a long time ago. The Convention of America needed things. They needed things to be seen that all was okay. Nails on coffin. What do you mean by nails on coffin, please? Can I ask? Nails on coffin, what do you mean? So they've just said to me, nails on coffin. Please, can I ask you, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by nails on coffin? Whose coffin? Metaphorically? Metaphorically? They're talking about metaphorically. Okay, in what way, please, then? What does that mean? Are we talking about HC? Hillary Clinton. Okay. So Spirit says, I'm really cautious as to the wording that I use. So Spirit says that Hillary Clinton's downfall has yet to come, and it will publicly. It will publicly. The story's not finished there yet. Not executed. I'm getting not executed. Passing. I'm getting a he pat. His time was up. His time was up. But the stage was still set, so the play still had to play out. Do you understand, Ringo? Do you understand what I mean? So they're saying not executed. They're saying not executed. But yes, the stage had to play out. Many doubles. Most celebrities have many doubles for many different reasons. For many different reasons. A lot of people thought that about Joe Biden. Are they imposters? Not all of them. Spirit's literally just said that as I asked your question. Not all of them. No, not all of them. Some are used. Okay. Spirit are saying some are used in the line of fire. They don't take risks. And they don't trust a lot of people. The elites are a league of their own. They're saying the elites are a league of their own. Go ahead, please. So are any of them imposters? Ringo would like to know, are any of them imposters? I have a habit of leaning forward to this, and then it comes out and I'm like right up here at the screen. So they're not all imposters. Some are very much real. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. So Spirit have just said some are scared to do their job. Name only. Name only. But some are scared to do their job. Interesting. Interesting. What other questions have we got? And if they are imposters, is there any other reason why they're imposters? Here's a biggie. I got no straight away. As soon as I read it, I didn't even get a chance to read it out loud. I got no. No, not yet. Being prepared, I want to say. Spirit are saying being prepared. But no, it's really him. He's determined to do what his mother did, but he won't be able to. His path is already set, and he won't be able to do what his mother did. So the Spirit are saying that no, so they're saying the real Prince Charles, and then they're kind of. Do you ever know that like there's an Eminem song or something? Well, the real Prince Charles, please stand down. They're singing this like tune to me. So yeah, I have to say, he's still here. Are they using an actor then? No, I keep getting no, and have to pass what I'm getting. No, he's still here and he's still pushing on. But changes is coming, and changes is coming soon. Is he running things? Not really. No, he's not. He's not running things at all. He's like, you have to excuse the noise in the background, guys. I'm really sorry. I can't shut my window, and I can't I can't reach it. So I apologize for all the noise. So yes, he's not running the show. He's not running the rodeo. I want to say he's not running the rodeo. William is at this stage running the rodeo, but I think everybody knows that. I think, yeah, I understand. It took Charles so long to get where he is. He's not that willing to give it up so easy. He wants to try and do his time. But it is the real Charles. I have to pass. Yeah, that's very interesting. Excuse me. So what else? What else do you want to ask Spirit? I'm just telling them people outside to be quiet. Excuse me. So, sorry, I went silent. I was just setting instructions down to try and keep the noise quiet for everyone. Okay. Yes. You know, he is such a ringer for Elvis, isn't he? He really is a ringer for Elvis. And, you know, the story goes that Elvis was controlled by the mafia. And the mafia didn't want him leaving his they had him where they wanted him with the Vegas and everything else. And maybe he was in debt, maybe he wasn't. We'll ask those questions. But at the same time, he kind of said he wanted to leave away. He always said that if he left fame, he would drift away. And he came from a gospel, like a Christian background, in the sense that he used to go, didn't he? He used to go and sing the gospel songs with the gospel, you know, in the gospel churches. And he loved all that. So have you seen Bob's son? Bob's son is very like him. So I have to say, no, Elvis is alive. I have to say. So let me hold on. So they're saying that's not him. Please, can we ask who's not him? You're saying that's not him. Are you saying that Bob is not Elvis? Please, can you ask, is Bob not Elvis? No, no. But I have to say, Elvis didn't pass when he was supposed to. Why is Bob so alike Elvis? Like he is the ringer for him. If anybody has seen it, it's yes. Check out Bob's son. Check out Bob's. I think he's got two. But check out his son. His son is really, yeah. But Spirit are saying no. So I want to ask, what do you mean by no? Because I'm really intrigued now. Please, can I ask, is Bob, did Bob used to be, no, okay. Spirit are saying no. Okay. Elvis had a twin. Did he? Oh, you're asking the question. Can't jump, Judith. Okay. Okay, I'll ask that question. Did Elvis pass when everybody thought he passed? No. Timelines don't match. Yes, he's in spirit, but not when the timelines don't match. Okay. Can I ask, did no Elvis have a twin? Please, can I ask, Yeah, did Elvis have a twin brother, please? Please, can you ask, did Elvis have did Elvis have a twin brother? That couldn't be right. Did it? Did Elvis have a son? Okay, so Spirit are saying Elvis had a son. Oh, okay. Jennifer, I can't remember his name. Bob. Uh, he is a ringer for Elvis, and he's actually stood and said at one stage he was Elvis, but the timelines don't match. That's what you're talking about. The timelines don't match. So is Elvis passed? Did Elvis pass when his funeral and it was announced way back in no. No. I can't remember his name, Jennifer. If you look on TikTok, you'll see he talks like him, he looks like him, he speaks like him. But I also so that's interesting. So Elvis had a son. So is Bob Elvis? No, no. Spirit are saying no. So did Elvis Presley have a son? Yes. Does Elvis, like I'm going to have the dumb blonde moment at the moment, but does Elvis Presley have a son? I thought he only had one daughter that we knew of. That we knew of. So there's a revelation. Spirit are saying Elvis had a son. I want to say nobody knew or nobody knew of this son. I think it was an illegitimate. I don't like using that word, but that's the word they've gave me. So I want to have to pass what they're saying to me. That's really, really interesting. I didn't know that. I think, as far as I know, that we all know he has one daughter, Lisa Marie, if I'm correct. But Spirit are saying he has a son. He has a secret son. Family no. Family no. It's just never been revealed. Family no. And I know there's something, please. Okay, I didn't even get to finish that. I was going to ask Spirit, please, can I ask why a lot of people, why they're not allowed, it's only family allowed upstairs? There's things that they don't want revealed upstairs. There's, they talk about secrets. They talk about secrets. Hi, Jacqueline. That's really interesting. So what is Bob's connection? This is okay. So I want to say is yeah, that's what we're talking about. No, again, as soon as I go to read your message, I get no. Is Elvis Pastor Bob? No. As soon as I read that, I have to keep passing what I'm getting. I'm getting no. But we've just been told, Jacqueline, that Elvis had a son. And again, they're using that word. So I have to pass the words that they're using, an illegitimate son. Family no, but it was never to be revealed. There was deals done. It was never to be revealed. It was to do with his image, Spirit are saying, to do with his image and things. It was important that his image was kept right. upstairs there's secrets, and the secrets that only the family should know or do know. And so they're talking about, you know, being upstairs, because I know it's all cordoned off. I've never seen, but I know they talk about it's all cordoned off. But Pastor Bob's allowed up the stairs. Every time I say his name, I keep getting uncle. Every single time I say his name, I keep getting uncle. America, Jacqueline, that just came as soon as you asked that question. America. He's not on the birth certificate. He's not on the birth certificate. Please, can I ask, why do I keep getting uncle whenever I talk about Pastor Bob now, please? Right, so they're talking about a connection, right? So Pastor Bob isn't Elvis. Pastor Bob isn't. I want to say uncle. I have to say uncle. Oh, that's really interesting, because we didn't know he had a son. Upstairs would give too much away. So that's why it's cordoned off. We understand that. We knew it was cordoned off. What is it? So, America, Jacqueline, 100% America. Please, can I ask the connection between Bob, Elvis, and I know you're telling, again, they're telling me uncle. Was Bob Elvis's uncle? No. What is the uncle? I don't understand the uncle. Please explain. Help me place it before we move on. No, Jacqueline. No. Not publicly anyway. No, not publicly. No. I'm coming to you, Ringo. I want to finish with Elvis. I want to find out. They're saying that with Bob, there's a connection, and it's to do with uncle. And they're talking about timelines. Bob is connected to the family on Elvis's side. Is Bob Elvis's cousin? Yes, they just said, okay. Huh. Right, okay. So I had to hang in there, Ringo, because I needed to find out. I really invested in that question, and I needed to understand it. So they kept saying Bob, uncle, you know, Bob. And when I was asking the connection, they were saying uncle, connection, uncle. Bob is Elvis's cousin. He is connected to the family. So that's why Bob looks like he is very close, like ringer for him, but also his son. So, whoa. But can we confirm you're not talking about Bob's son? You're talking about, are you saying that Elvis had? Yes, Elvis had a son too. Not a singer, lives in the US. His name is not on the birth certificate. So only the mother is on the birth certificate. Okay, only the mother is on the birth certificate. That's pretty cool. I'm really, I'm all the biz with that, because we got there in the end. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to switch over now, and we're going to speak about Hitler. Okay. I know, Jennifer, I'm like, whoa. I love it when Spirit just bring it out and they share it, and that I'm coming to you, Ringo. I'm still starstruck by Elvis. I'm really at all the biz that we got that answer, and that's why everything looks, yeah, oh my word, that's just so good. So Elvis has a son, and Bob is a cousin of Elvis. So I'm going to have to research the butt out of that when I finish, because that's just like mind blowing. Okay, guys, we need to switch. Ringo would like to talk about Hitler. Okay, please can we ask, was it Hitler's body that was found at no, no, he was long gone. No, he was long gone. Um, not to South America. Oh, really? They're talking about an Italy connection, Ringo. Um, when I'm questioning that, they're talking about, oh gosh, I'm not even going to remember all that cool stuff about Elvis. I'll have to watch it back. They're talking about there's an Italy connection. When I asked about South America, they talk about Italy connection. Um, he shaved his head. Was that not a false piece? Was a false piece on his head anyway? But I have to say he shaved his head. Because I was going to ask how did nobody recognize him if he went to Italy, and they're saying he shaved his head, bald. He was bald. He shaved his head, facial, everything gone. Are you saying he went? I want to say Italy, Ringo. They're saying that wasn't him. At the end of the war, he went to Italy. Europe was more open to the lifestyle he wanted to lead. They've just said Europe was more open to the lifestyle he wanted to lead. 4 years after that, please what about the 4 years after that? What do you mean the 4 years? Do you mean 4 years after he went to Italy, or 4 years after? 4 years after. He passed 4 years after. He passed over 4 years after from when they thought at the end of the war. When did the war end? 45? Was it 45? I know it was declared in 39. But they said, I have to go with Italy. They're talking about Italy. For the life, again, they've just said for the lifestyle he wanted to lead. 4 years later, they gave the timeline of 4 years later. Very evil, very cruel. Many people still do not know to the depths and the extent that he took things. The powers that he wanted controlled his mind. The powers that he wanted controlled his mind, and other people paid for that. He was known to be on some heavy drugs medication. Was I? I don't know. I didn't know that. But he was very dark. I know that. He was very dark and sinister. How do I say that without a fit? How can I say that? Explain that. Give me that in a way that I can explain that. So there was more than just power, satisfaction, or gratification that he got out of other people's torture and the things that he did. There was more of a personal satisfaction, I want to say, if I can say it in that way. Addiction issues. Did he only tried on other people first what he thought before he would allow anything with it, before he would take anything? He only allowed what was safe on other people. And that was through testing and things like that there. They're talking about satanic in a sense, as in, yes, as an evil, but also It was about power. It was about control. It was about, his ego was just so big, but it was also about personal pleasure. That's the best way I can put it without getting myself banned. It was more also about personal pleasure that he received from the things that he did. They talk about liver issues. I don't know. I would have to. Everything I've given you, I have no idea about. Again, I trust spirit 100%. But they talk about liver issues with Hitler. They talk about liver issues. I feel that there was a yes, Ringo. Yeah, I just wasn't sure how to put that across and keep myself right. Yes, very much. I feel that he had real severe liver problems and really severe liver failure. And it all played a part in his passing. Spirit are talking about liver failure and liver, like a liver disease. Liver, I kind of want to say it's more of abuse. And in that sense, abuse. There is historical evidence. There was a lot of drugs given to the military as well to have the stamina. Would make sense. It contributed to the cruel behavior. There was a lot of countries doing that, but not to the extent that Hitler was doing it. MDMA, like people, Americans, Jennifer, were taking that, the pilots, to keep them awake on all their journeys. Like I think the British were, like it was through different parts of the world where drug use was used in the armed forces, but it was used in small amounts, just enough to keep people alert and to do their job in that sense. But Hitler took it to a different level. And he very much, yes, sexual deviance is what Ringo's saying. Yes, he took it for personal pleasure, but he also took it because the power was just, he forgot who he was. I want to say, Spirit are saying he forgot who he was. Amphetamines. What else can you tell us about Spirit? About Hitler, Spirit? Oh, all his sidekicks didn't trust him. All his second in command, third in command, all the team that he would have had around him. He was, I don't know, I need to look up my history, but Spirit are saying he was too unpredictable. He was too unpredictable and too dangerous, even for the people around him, in his own camp, in his own side. He's just a really, really, really evil man, and a lot of it was, it was personal pleasure, and it wasn't for the war, and it wasn't for what the war was about. It was very much for him. But Spirit are saying that he passed 4 years later. They talk about Italy connection with him, and they also say it was liver. His liver was badly affected. His liver was very deteriorated. I want to say maybe a liver disease, in the sense of maybe if he's took a lot of drugs, he's abused it in himself. But that's really interesting. Yeah, amphetamines. He took lots of okay. So he took unknowns. They're unknowns to us, but they were tried and tested for him, if that makes sense. They were unknown for us, but tried and tested for him. So he's definitely one that passed after his timeline. So he is definitely. Elvis, when they said about the timelines, they're talking about Pastor Bob's timeline. No, that doesn't link in, but he is connected through an uncle, and he's a cousin. I'm loving this. We got very clear answers tonight, and I can hear my voice still trying to go. And if they come forward, Spirit come forward, happy days. That's brilliant. And if they don't, well, we'll carry on. but Hitler used drugs that you don't, or I don't, or other people don't necessarily have a name. It's creations. It was their own concoctions and creations. And I feel like mixtures. I want to say like mixtures. So that's very interesting. I don't really know a lot of, I'm bad, me bad. I don't know. I like to always go blind, and then I like to go and look up and research the information that's come forward to see like how all that links in. But I trust. I completely trust. So we've got 15 minutes yet. Who else? What other person do you want to ask about before we have to? We'll have to try and keep it on time tonight. Trying to be really good. JFK, was that him assassinated? Yes. He knows who did it. He knows who did it. Within the White House, within the government, he knows himself who did it. As in now that he's in spirit are saying he knows who did it. Spirit are saying he was aware. There was, it's like split. It's so like, I want to say like the White House, or it was like, I know they have the Republicans and they have the Democrats in America, and I don't mean it was split by that. I mean around him, his team, the people around him, it was split. Was it Bush? No, higher up. He said no, higher up. It wasn't Bush. Mafia, CIA. Please, can I ask? Oh. Okay, how do I? Oh, I'm loving this episode tonight. Okay, how do I share this? Okay, Ringo. Now help me with your wording. You know what we're talking about, okay? I want to switch it to just briefly, just to understand. Do you know the way? Oh, how can I? Am I able to say this? Okay, so do you know the way the Rockefellers are very well known, renowned in America, and what I want to say, they're very well known, and I want to say, when you ask that question, Ringo, I want to tell you to go back to the Rockefeller or Rockefellers. Yeah, I do you know, I don't know why I'm worrying about what I'm saying tonight, because it's spirit that's saying it, and yeah, it's spirit are saying my wording, spirit are saying when that question is asked, Rockefellers had an involvement, are connected, not just to that, but quite a few others. Wow, loving it, loving it. The upper, yes, yes. There's many more linking in. Everybody sees everybody sees everything as individual sequences, individual incidences, but really they're all linked in. They're all linked in. So Marilyn Monroe, see, when you said that again, this is really interesting. So, okay. Can anybody tell me, Jennifer, if you're still here, you're really good at your research. When you said about Marilyn Monroe, I got Elvis. And they're saying about everybody connected in. Okay. they're way above the presidents. They're way above. They're in a lot of control of what goes on. They're even the only other people apart from different world governments that have a share in Antarctica. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew that, but they have a share in Antarctica. All connected. Yes, all connected. So, can anybody tell me, when Elvis died and Marilyn Monroe died and JF Kennedy, what years? What were they all close around the years? Were they all connected in round, like, I'm trying to think of timelines now and patterns, because they're saying it's all connected. I know we're doing the podcast, and I know this is really silly, guys, to ask, but I don't mean it's all connected with the podcast, but they're all connected with, like, the higher uppers that we just distinguished. Yes. So I want to place but JF Kennedy knew this. JF 63, 64. Okay. So 63, 64, is that JF Kennedy? When JF Kennedy was killed, Marilyn Monroe was killed, and Elvis. Was Elvis 1975, was he? 1976, 77. Oh, hi, Deborah. Okay. So we've got 1977. Who was 63, 64? Ringo. And when was Marilyn Monroe and JK? Is that the two? I wanna Elvis was later. Elvis was definitely in the 70s. Hi, Deborah. Good to have you with us. So I'm 72, 1972, and I can remember when I was like 4 or 5 running out and shouting Ian Paisley had died, and it was Elvis Presley. I got my names and my facts very much mixed up when I was 4 or 5. So 77, yeah. So that'd be right, 77. So who's the 16th of? Okay, so JF Kennedy. What was the year he passed? Marilyn Monroe, what was the year she passed, and what was the month? I don't know why I'm asking that, but Spirit are saying 1962. 62. So JF Kennedy, when did he pass? 1963. Okay. Jennifer, I want you to, Drew, can you Google government official, an American government official Sinatra in there somewhere? Mark, I've just got 1964. Who passed in 1964? Marlon's, handlers, Kennedys, etc. Mafia. Yeah, but I have to say, it's higher than that. It's higher. They're maybe the puppets. Marlon and JFK 1 year apart. Yeah, but I'm also getting 1964. Guys, please can I ask why you're giving me 1964? Was there an assassination of a government official or a 1964? I want to talk about an assassination that took place in 1964, and I feel it was connected. It's all connected as well. Spirit are saying 1964. Please can I ask you who is it you're talking about in 1964? Is it government, celebrity? Is it America? Is it Bobby, Martin Luther, Malcolm X? It's somebody within the government. It's somebody within the government. Assassinated in 1964. They were killed in 1964, but they were assassinated. Was there somebody, a death on a plane or a crash? Was there a crash to do with a plane in 1964? that was to do with a government official. Spirit are saying 1964, and it's to do as a government connection. And they've now brought forward and said it's to do also, they've also brought in like a plane, like a crash. I'm writing this down because I'll have to look this up after. That's really interesting. Bobby Kennedy was please, can I ask, was it Bobby Kennedy, please? No. Why can I not get the name, please? 1964 government official, government agent, plane crash, not in a plane crash. No, yes, in a plane. They're saying 1964, a government official / agent was assassinated. It wasn't an accident, but they're saying a plane crash. So it was involved with in a plane. Malcolm, 1965. Was that just going into 65? 1965? Is that just at the start of the year in 1965? Because I'm getting 1964 and I don't want to change that. Please, can we ask, was it Malcolm X in 1960? No. They're saying no. Give me more. Give me more before we have to finish. Please share. What else can you share about this person? They just said it was a woman. It was a woman. It was a female. It was a woman. Edward Kennedy survived a small plane crash in 1964. Bad storm. Was there a woman with him that didn't survive? I have to say it's a woman. I can't change that now, but that's Edward Kennedy. Are you linking these together, please, Spirit? Or I don't want my mind to take over. So I want the 1964 government official plane crash agent. Was he in the government? Was he part of like the government at that time? Jennifer Rose? I don't know. I would have to look that up. Also, was it a woman that was to blame for that? Wasn't like, is that why you're saying it was a woman? Beginning of February. I don't know who he is. Excuse my ignorance. I don't know who he is. Edward Kennedy's wife died mysteriously. Yes, we're on it. See, I'm getting it. It was a woman. She died mysteriously. So it must be connected. So we're connecting in. It's with the Edward Kennedy. It was a woman. What else can you give us? In a car crash. So the plane crash is linking us to Edward Kennedy, and they're talking about he was a government official, and they talk about then it was a woman and she died mysteriously in a car crash. Loving it. All linking together. That's pretty cool. Anything else, Spirit, that you can share with us about this? That was it an accident? No, it wasn't an accident. No. Her car was tampered with. Spirit have just said her car was tampered with. Can I just ask, can any of you confirm, was Edward Kennedy connected in around the government in some way when that plane crashed in 1964? Was he connected to the Senate, or like was he connected into that in some way? Because that just confirms everything then that Spirit has just said. In the government, they said a government official or a government agent in the plane crash, and Edward Kennedy was in the plane crash in 1964, and Spirit gave 1964, but they said then that it was a woman. So was he a governor? Please, can I ask? They're saying it was a government official. Spirit are saying yes, please. Okay. Can any of you confirm, was Edward Kennedy connected to the USA government? Was he an official to the USA government in 1964 when he had that plane crash? Because then that just validates everything Spirit has just gave us tonight. His wife, the car was tampered with. Spirit are saying the car was tampered with. The last thing I want to validate is, and I am asking you if you can validate it, was, I might be quite, and I don't mean to sound ignorant to facts, but was Edward Kennedy involved in the government in 1964? Was he a senator? Was he within, did he have an involvement, a job within like the government in some sense in 1964 when his plane crashed? Can any of you tell me that? I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up. It says she died of dementia last year. Who died of dementia last year? Edward Kennedy's. I can't change this. It was a woman. Okay, we need to find out it was a woman. Please, can you explain? You have said 1964. Was Edward Kennedy involved politically? That's the word I'm using. Thank you, guys. Was Edward Kennedy politically involved in 1964? Oh, why can I not find that? Okay, copy. It says no, he wasn't. Edward Kennedy. Okay, so it says Edward Kennedy was highly politically involved in 1964 as a US senator for Massachusetts. Despite being hospitalized for months following a severe plane crash, he accomplished the following that year: Civil Rights Act, Re-election, Economy Opportunity Act. So he was a US senator. There we go. So Spirit said 1964, a government official was involved in a plane crash. We've just got that. Right. We need to place the woman. Edward Kennedy was a senator in 2019. He passed in. Yeah, but it says Edward Kennedy was highly politically involved in 1964 as a US senator from Massachusetts. Hope I'm saying that correctly. So he was involved in the Civil Rights Act in 1964. So where does a woman? Please, excuse me. Please, can I ask? Where's the woman? It was a woman. It was a woman. Okay, so Car tampered with. Car tampered with. Okay. So John Kennedy, wife and sister died in a plane crash in 1999. No, we got it, Jennifer. It's 1964. Definitely Edward Kennedy. And the plane crash, it was 1964, and he was politically involved for it. And that's all piecing in. So here's the kicker. They've just said, when I'm questioning the woman, they talk about car tampered with as well. But when I ask questions more about the woman, and I need to look this up after as well. They're talking about links to Italian mafia. The woman has links to the Italian mafia. Was he having an affair, guys? Several. Oh, okay. Several. As soon as I asked that question, they said several. That's a really good one. We asked 3 different people tonight, and we got 3 really strong answers. And yeah, Ringo, absolutely. I know, Jennifer, that he has come on as later. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 19. Yeah, sorry. It's maybe come up easier in our search, but we found out about Elvis tonight. We found out about Hitler tonight, and we found out about the Kennedys, the part of the Kennedys. Yes, and as Ringo says, but the Italian mafia is connected in the Italian. There's was there a head? Was it okay? So I'm going to write this down. Was there a head of a like a top of the Italian mafia? Was one of them a woman? I want to connect that in because that's what Spirit are saying. And they make me aware that he had several. They all had several mistresses. They thought it was just their. They thought it was their right, their God-given right, and to have whatever and whoever, is the way the Spirits just put it. But yeah, that's so interesting. So Elvis, we got revelations. Hitler, we got revelations, and we started off with JF Kennedy, but we went on into Edward Kennedy, and they brought it in. So we're going to leave it tonight. And it's something I'll check afterwards. Was the head of the Italian mafia, was one of them a woman? Because Spirit have brought that forward. And on that note, and we found out about the Rockefellers and their involvement tonight. And that's really interesting. Doesn't surprise, but it's really interesting that Spirit brought it forward. And I think Spirit were able to validate quite a few things tonight. And that's really, I just love that. I just love the fact that Spirit are quite happy to share. The godmother, yes. Is that what you call them? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Deborah, we've got revelations about Elvis, revelations about Hitler, and now we've got revelations. Started off with JFK, and then it moved from who was involved with JFK's assassination into Edward Kennedy. So yeah, the godmother, exactly, Ringo. I couldn't remember the terminology that they used, but I want to say it was Elvis. Do you mean the woman, the godmother? Are you talking about of Elvis? Is that what you're meaning? Or please, can I ask? It was a woman, Italian mafia, the head of Italian mafia. 1964. they gave me the same again. It's 1964, the head of Italian mafia. The godmother. I couldn't think of the terminology, but I want to say the godmother. So thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I'm really, really, really grateful, and I know the show is very much building and finding its way. That's your evening sorted, Deborah. Yeah. You were being banned from Facebook. Were you naughty? Facebook bans you for so many things. But yes, next fortnight we're going to be a different topic as always. Right, Ringo. Sorry. Yeah, bad me. Yeah, sorry. Ringo was just telling you, Deborah, that we talked about Elvis, and it's just so interesting. Please watch it back and let me know. That is a wow. I need to go and research now. In 1964, who was the godmother? Was there a godmother, should I say? I want to word that correctly. In 1964, was there a godmother of the Italian mafia? Because that's what Spirits just said. Wouldn't think it, Deborah. Wouldn't think it. Brilliant. Well, guys, do you know what? Thank you so much. I am truly, truly grateful. The next fortnight, we're going to talk about the ice wall. I really want to talk about the ice wall. What is behind the ice wall? And I think Antarctica is such a big subject. There's different things we could talk about. What all's being done there by our governments and all those secret tests, or what do we want to learn about the ice wall? So I want to break that into two parts. And the first one is what's behind the ice wall. I want Spirit to bring forward the communities, the continents, everything is behind there. And then part two of that, we're going to talk about what the governments are doing there and the Rockefellers. What are they doing there, and why do they need to be there? So we're going to bring that forward. So we have to break that into two parts. It's not going to work into one part, just too much. Yes, 100% Ringo. Spirit have talked to me in the past about it, and they're very open about it. So I really look forward to bringing that one forward. So next fortnight is what is behind the ice wall, part one. Then part two, we'll talk about the government side of it, what Spirit are saying is going on there. So guys, thank you so much. I'm truly, truly grateful. And until then, truth seekers, I will see you. Take care.